I probably, what are we doing on time?
35.
Okay, I got about 15 minutes to go through. This will work. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take you through some tools now. Problem solving. Utilize problems that cannot be solved with the proper application of a highly explosive projectile. All right, I got more laughs out of that one. Good. So what I would tell you is that the tools that you have out there, if you're in war, these are your tools. This is what you would be equipped with in basic training, right? For us, I don't know about you guys. For me, this thing's a Swiss Army knife for me. I mean, this is really the Swiss Army phone. It is, you can, I don't know, I still have yet to see, there's nothing I can't do with this thing. It's stunning and amazing, but I would tell you that the more things that you can do, just make sure. The tools, the right weapons, the right time. I'm not going to drain this slide, but make sure you're using the right technique at the right time. And then if something's not working, for anybody that's ever done any shooting, I'm not a hunter, I don't do a lot of, I'm not military. But what I would tell you is that there's something that's called, resighting, or, your grouping. If your grouping of your bullets or your shots are way off, look at what you're doing. Resight, rescope. Figure out what you're doing wrong, and then try to modify till you're hitting the bullseye. Okay, next two slides are probably more money. This is new stuff no one has seen. How many people use Zobni? Okay, for anyone that does not, this tool is absolutely cool. At the very end of the presentation, if we have time, ask just somebody, Paul, just remind me to pull up my email if I have time, and I'll show you Zobni. That if somebody just says, hey, we've never met before, I were to put in your name or whatever, or if I've got an email from somebody, what happens is I can immediately pull up and be able to see their profile on what's their Twitter account, their Facebook picture profile. So it's a great way to be able to see social media profiles of people. And also, it's great because it does your entire inbox. I can search my inbox for keywords in seconds. So what it does is it basically indexes your entire inbox, and there's so many other things that you can do with this tool. So it's free, big key phrase. There's one that's free and there's one that you pay for. I would say the pay for version is pretty darn good too. But for anybody that held up their hand that uses it, want to sing it praises as well?
It's great to have a picture if they're having it, and Facebook, and it's worked very well for me, and the search, and also it does a thread of all the emails that of the conversations that you've had with them in the past. It keeps a track of that whole email thread.
Brilliant, thank you. That's a great point as well. With Zobni, for anybody who has an iPhone, you know how on the email it shows you 2 to 3 things that are all in that string? Zobni does the same thing. That it'll show you all that. It'll also show you all the attachments at a glance that have been shared with you, so you can quickly just a time saver. Anybody familiar with Wordle? I don't expect to get a lot of hands here on this one. Wordle is something that's kind of think about it as, on Twitter, how they talk about what are the key items that are coming up, or what's the buzz, the highest things that are, so you see some words that are out there and suddenly something gets scored. Wordle is a tool and a technique or a website that you can use that you could actually paste in a job description, and it will pull out keywords that are shared over and over and over again, or concepts, and put those into like a cloud, a graphical cloud, to where you can see, here is what is important about this job description. Maybe the hiring manager didn't tell you this, but here's what, so when you're on let's say you're on the phone with them and you get a job description delivered to you, pop it into Wordle, wordle.net, and just say, I get the feeling that you're also looking for this. I get the feeling that you're also looking for this. Is that the case? I see that a lot in the job description. And they'll be like, oh yeah, we didn't put that as one of the requirements, but if you find that on someone, yes. The other piece that a lot of people will use it is take your top 3 resumes that you got from your customer in the re-engineering piece, drop the text of all of those resumes into Wordle, see what comes up. Then you can use those as your keywords. Okay? So there's I'm using one trick with another trick, right? And then the other is, I've seen people use this with job postings from the competition. So what they'll do is they'll take their competition, data feed. So let's say they do all the jobs that have come in from, let's say for me, Coca-Cola. I do a data feed of all of their jobs in an RSS feed, let's say, and I'll get into RSS feeds in just a couple seconds. And I take them into a text file and I pop them in. Some people are actually using this for competitive intelligence, that if you see something pop up over and over and over again, like location, like of Kansas City, and they're not in Kansas City, there's a heck of a good chance that they're moving headquarters to Kansas City, right? So just as a thought, that then you can go from offense to defense. You can say, hey, heads up, Kansas City area, they're moving to town. We need to start looking at what we're doing from our attention. Outlook rules. I don't want to go into this too deep, but Outlook is the one tool that how many people use Outlook? So many of us. If you're not using rules and signatures, shame on you. It is such easy technology to implement. What I do is all of my rejection letters for candidates, all my targeted mailers are a signature. Go in, how you put your stuff, hey, follow me on Twitter, follow me on Facebook, whatever. Create one that is your email that you want to blast out. And so you're sending single emails to different people, which is great, or you can do it 25 at a time. I do individual and smaller groups of email because I don't want them to go into spam filters. So that's the way that I typically will do that, okay? And the rules, having things, if I will put a rule in there that if I get a resume that has this, and this, I want an alert to pop up, I want sound to play, I want something to pop up and just, say, hey, this came in. So you can set up anything with Outlook rules. RSS feeds, how many people are using this today? Great. One thing I'll tell you, and I don't know if I'll cover it under branding, but for Twitter, for anybody that follows me on Twitter, one of the things you'll say is, how the hell is Jim posting Twitter, tweets at 4 a.m.? Is he on Twitter all day? Sorry guys, I'd love to tell you I am, but I'm not. Basically what I've done is I've used a Twitter feed it's called Twitter feed, tweet feed, Twitter feed. And basically all I do is I go out and I will go to, for me, I'm giving you all my secrets here, so you probably won't want to follow me now, right, on Twitter, which I would encourage you to do, but what I do is I go out to Mashables or any different website. Some people go to ERE, but what you can do is then set up an RSS feed. There's just a little thing that says RSS feed, and you just click on that, copy that area in, and you'll get a web page or a URL. Go to Twitter feed, and you just drop that in as your RSS feed. Voila. You now have tweets that are automatically going in every so often, 4 hours, 3 hours, 1 hour, once a day, every 2 days, that are being delivered out there automatically for you. So if you're trying to build your brand, the reason that I have that up there is just, I've heard of people doing it for jobs, so that what they'll do is they'll go to Indeed.com and they'll take their data feed of their company and they'll put that as an RSS feed that then goes in. Okay, crap. Okay. I'm going to run out of time, big time. Dragon. I'll go through these tools because I think these are really, really good. How many people are familiar with Dragon? Do they really? Very cool. Well, since so many hands were raised, I'm not going to do it because I've got it set up. But if you want to see it after we talk, basically what it is a vocal recognition tool that I leverage for capturing my notes from phone interviews. I actually use the iPhone app in the car so that I'm not recording the candidate, but I'm recording my notes afterwards. Or for blogs, I will, on the way to work and on the way home, I will record my blog, and then I'm able to just take it and I have it to where my blog's updated by email. So I can just capture the text on Dragon the minute I stop, do a couple little edits on spelling because it's usually pretty darn good, and then hit send and it goes out. Okay? And then the digital pen, I'll tell you guys, this is my newest, latest, and greatest. I'm going to go through this one with you. Anybody familiar with the LiveScribe pens? How many people? A couple people? You guys, I'd love to say I'm a techie that takes all my notes on the computer, but I'm not. I mean, for me, I write everything. So for me, what I found is the simplest and the coolest thing is the LiveScribe pen. This thing looks like something that's, I don't even know. But what it has is the ability to record conversations. So I'm in a meeting, let's say a rec intake meeting. I can record my rec intake meeting, be taking notes, and then if there's something that I don't remember, I can tap on the page. And this is all dot matrix paper, so the pen knows where exactly on the page you were at any given time, and it'll play it back. So you can back up like 5 seconds, back up 10 seconds. So let's say that you didn't realize the manager, what the hell did they mean? I wrote down, this, and you're like, I don't even remember what that was. And so it also allows you to share your recordings with groups. So let's say that you're an account manager and you have recruiters. You can take your notes from that, and if they want, they can go in. They have an electronic version that's on their screen versus on paper, and anywhere that they have questions, they would just click on the screen that they would see a PDF of this page, and they would be able to see it. Okay? All I'm going to do real quick is I will show you just how simple this is. I'm going to hit record right here on the paper. Okay? And I'm going to say, anybody want me to say anything? What do I say?
Describe your top job order it.
What's that?
Right now. For sourcing.
Equity Design Manager. Okay? Now, what I will do is I will hit stop. Crap. Okay, I just hit stop. Now what I'll do is it's recorded here, right? So I'm going to click on anywhere. Why not have the sound up? Manager. Okay. Now what I will do is I will hit. Okay, so you can see that it just went right to the word manager. It didn't go to equity. It didn't go to design. I just tapped on the word manager. What this has been beneficial for while I was at ERE, I was at all these different conferences. I actually took all my notes with this one as well. And so, let's see if anybody recognizes a voice here. Whatever. And Shally. So, sounded like Shally. So you can record and then you can have the notes. Yeah.
Is it super expensive though? And
Like 130 bucks.
So then what do you get with paper?
You get a bunch of these with it. So it's really cool.
Did you say live scribe or live?
L-I-V-E, V is in Victor, Live Scribe. And the pen is actually called a Pulse, and they have a new one out called an Echo. All right? L-I-V-E, Live Scribe. Live Scribe, and then the other one it's a Pulse. It's Pulse is what I use, but the new one that they have out is called the Echo.
So when you're making notes on your, oh sorry, go ahead.
What's the question?
Automatically download it.
Yeah, I don't have it. It's kind of real cool, like a little USB kind of. You just lay it in the cradle, and it'll upload it, and then you can share it onto your desktop, and then you can share it with other people that you're connected with. And then you see the PDF on your screen, and then you can actually click, just like I did on the paper, except now it's on my screen as a PDF. It's badass. What's that?
If you take notes in your notebook on the special paper with your pen, and then it like tags voice notes to the different areas. Okay.
It's so cool.
So it does both.
So what I do is I use it in rec intake meetings. I use it in candidate conversations, but I only record my side because I'm not saying, hey, So I find myself repeating back to the candidate, so let me make sure I understand what you said, this, and this. And then, and that's just so I can go back to my notes and just, what the hell was I writing there? And then also consensus meetings. So some people are kind of weird about that, but that way you can say, yeah, that person did say that. And their new pen, the Echo, actually has the ability of, like, you can be writing on PowerPoint slides and Word documents, and it's pretty cool, the technology that's out there.
Don't you have to say that you are being recorded?
Correct, if I'm recording their voice, but I'm not a candidate. I don't do that. So, okay? Well, I'm going to run out of time here. So the one thing that I will tell you is check out Yauba. Anybody using this website? It's Y-A-U-B-A. The coolest new website for searching that I've found. Because what you do is it searches all at one time, internet sites, real-time searches, mainstream, social news, blogs, answers, images, videos, PDF, Word, PowerPoint, and social networks. And the other thing that's really cool about it is when you put it in there, it then parses them out by that area. So it'll say, here are the top 5 that came from the internet. Here are the top 5 real-time searches. Here are the top 5 images. So here, I think I did it, like here. I don't know if you can see that, but it said, here's what came from the internet. So when I put in certified internet recruiter, the top one that came out was obviously errors, the right thing. And then what also came up was images. So I'm